What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be doing your full UFC Vegas 32 full card predictions. I don't know why I said full so many times, but it is what it is. Really good card here. TJ Dillashaw in the main event versus Cory Sandhagen, the long-awaited bantamweight champion of the world. Obviously, to some of y'all, he was long-awaited, but for me, I honestly, I didn't really care too much about him. But I know that might sound a little bit of a dick move, a little bit of a dipshit thing to say, but it is what it is. I'm going to get through these picks really quick, y'all. I know this might piss some of y'all off, but I got to get out of here. Work, man. Work has been hitting me really hard, but I'm going to keep trucking. Saturday, I don't know if I'm going to stream. That's one thing I want to say on here. I don't know if I'm going to stream on Saturday. I know I did. I think I did promise y'all I would stream for TJ versus Cory. But I'm going to do everything in my power to make it happen. These people keep, at my job, they keep stacking up the hours. But it is what it is. We get through those hours and we get through this. We just got to keep rolling. But yeah, I will do everything in my power to get it done on Saturday. I will try to make it up. So it is what it is. But yeah, let's talk about the first fight. Diana Belbetti versus Hannah Goldy. Good fight for Hannah Goldy. I think Diana losing to what's her face? Luana Jujui, the little pretty girl, and then Molly McCain. She hasn't fought in like 11 months and 3 weeks. Hanny hasn't fought in a year and 11 months. So I would say Diana's been, I guess, more active. But Hannah was supposed to fight. I think a few months ago, it got canceled like super last minute. Hannah's she's a Fusion XL fighter, so really good jiu-jitsu, good grappler, decent hands. I think Hannah gets this by decision. Next fight, Sijara Eubanks versus Alessi Reed. Really big fight for Sijara. Potentially her UFC job is on the line. She is somewhat past her prime. She is 36. She never really had much of a prime. Sijara, it's hard to say where Sijara is in her career, but she almost contended for the UFC Flyweight Championship of the world. Alessi Reed will be making her her UFC debut. She was fighting at a CFC. So interesting promotion there, Cage Fury. She's 4-0. Obviously, she's won her, all her fights. Well, I was about to say by KO. She won her last fight by KO. Went to a decision with Julian DeCourcy, who's 4-2. Went to a split decision with Jasmine Judas and knocked out her opponent, Rebecca, against the kid. That's actually funny they detailed that. But yeah, Sijara, we know what Sijara is gonna come and bring. She's a Mark Henry fighter. She's gonna win by points. She's a good wrestler. She does have a good win over I think Julia Villa, so that's aged pretty well. She does have the reach advantage by a lot, by 6 inches. So I think Sijara is gonna win the decision. I think she needs it, and I got Sijara Eubanks by decision. Next up, Julio Ares versus Andre Ewell. This is one of the harder fights to predict. I am a big fan of Julio Ares, Tiger Schulman's kid. He does have a win over Dan Ige, probably one of the better, his best win. He does have that highlight reel knockout over my boy Julian Erosa. He does have a submission win over Daniel Timur. So he has a lot of good wins, right? He has lost to Hakeem Dawodu and Shane Moraes. That was via split decision. Both fights were via split decision. Julio Ares, he's a really good fighter, complete fighter. Very good pressure. He's actually competed in the Golden Gloves. I think boxing amateurs before. So he's a legit accomplished athlete, combat sports athlete. So he has a legit pedigree. But Andre Ewell, if it's anyone that can really match him with the hands, it's Andre Ewell. He has again one of the longer reaches in bantamweight. He has really good boxing. And he uses his reach really well. The only thing about Andre Ewell is he breaks. He kind of breaks in the later rounds. He broke against Chito Vera. No shame in that. Chito Vera breaks everyone. He lost to Chris Gutierrez. Showed some weaknesses with the calf kicks. Obviously, Tiger Showman's, what do they love to do? Calf kicks. Jimmy Rivera, Shane Burgo sometimes uses it. He doesn't use it as much as everyone else, but yeah, a lot of those guys, they like to, throw those kicks. So I got to go with Julio Ares by decision. I think Andre Ewell can get it done. Yeah, I really do. I think that's a good dog pick right there. I mean, the reach advantage is 5 inches, right? Julio Ares is really, really scrappy. He knows how to get to the inside. I like him personally, so this is why I'm kind of picking him. So I'm taking Julio Ares. Next fight, Adrian Yanez versus Randy Costa. I mean, great fight right here. Everyone's super, super hyped about it. I mean, in terms of experience, you got to go with Adrian Yanez, right? He has the more experience. He's fought some better competition. But Randy Costa, I mean, he's only really lost to Brandon Davis. I wonder how you guys judge that. Adrian Yanez, I think he has a loss to Miles John via split decision. I was trying to find the fight everywhere, but I couldn't find it. Sorry for the interruption. You already know this computer been tripping for. I need to get a new computer. By my birthday, I'm gonna try to get a new one, or at least a new setup. But yeah, like I said, it was hard for me to find that Miles John fight with Adrian Yanez. I was looking everywhere for it, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, I think Adrian actually has I would say more experience. He's a lot newer than Costa, but he has more fights on his record. Randy does have the reach advantage. The one thing I like Randy did is he did move to Stanford MMA. I think he was with Lonzo Mixed Martial Arts, whatever gym that's called, and I think Yanez is still with Metro Fight Club. I might do a breakdown on this fight. I'm not sure if I will, but I really, really like this fight. Both guys are young. This is going to be a really, really good fight. I would say in terms of advantages, maybe a fight ago, I would probably say Yanez has the boxing advantage, but I've seen the work Randy Costa has been doing with his striking, and I honestly do think he has fixed up some of his hands. Obviously, he is really good with the kicks, but he has been putting in real work in Florida. I think Stanford MMA is going to dominate this fight card. They have a lot of fighters on this card. So I gotta take Randy Costa. I think it's gonna be a close fight, but I'm taking Costa. I think it's gonna be a good one, and I think Costa takes it, but I think Yanez can take it too. But it's gonna be a great fight. Ian Heinisch versus Nasruddin Imavov. Good fight right here. I gotta take Ian Heinisch. I wasn't really too impressed with Imavov's last performance against Phil Hawes. He looked good. I'm not gonna say he didn't look bad. He did stumble Phil Hawes, but I just didn't like where his mind was at. He didn't have the killer instincts that I thought he would have had against Phil Hawes. I didn't pick him, but I thought he would have been a lot more trouble for Phil. But yeah, I'm taking Heinisch. Heinisch obviously is a teammate with Phil Hawes and Stanford MMA. He's been training there lately. In terms of the tail of the tape, if we look at it, so Imavov does have a reach advantage, by 3 inches. So I just feel like Ian has fought better competition. He's been grinding for a long, long time. You hear his story and this and that. Hopefully he uses his wrestling. He's a really good wrestler that really doesn't use it. I think in this fight he's going to use it, and I think, he's going to follow the game plan of Phil Hawes, and I think he gets a decision victory. So it is what it is. Next fight, Shamil. Okay, I'm just going to call him Shamil. I don't want to say that last name, versus Chris Daukaus. This has been one that has been really weighing on me. I have been flip-flopping over this one. Honestly, I want to hear how you guys are feeling really about this fight. This is a fight that I can't really get a read on. Shamil, he has some good wins that have aged well, right? Chase Sherman has been off and on. Andrei Arlovsky and Marcin Tybura, he knocked them out. Now that was 2 years ago. Now Chris's last 4 have been really good. He's only been the favorite for the Oleinik fight, but he was a underdog against Nascimento, who just coming off a win recently. Underdog against Parker Porter, I remember that. And Danny Holmes, I wasn't sure if he was an underdog for that Cage Fury fight, but he's been a big underdog. So when I look at Tapology, he is the favorite. Shamil is 39. He is older. He is coming off a loss to Curtis Blades, right? I can let that one go because you guys were right in Curtis Blades' meat for about a year and telling me this guy's the future champ. So, you know, keep that same energy for you guys. So I'm not going to be like Shamil's trash because he lost to Curtis. But I don't know. I'm going to take Chris Daukaus. I'm going to just assume age plays a factor. Chris is 31. The Daukaus brothers are really, really good fighters, and I think he might be the better out of the two. So I'm gonna take Chris Daukaus via second round TKO. It does scare me, the wrestling. The wrestling does scare me, but I mean Shamil has fought so many guys. You know, even the Darrick, people forget he fought Darrick Lewis a while back, and that, you know, he took damage there. He's taken some damage. He's a tough guy. And I can see him win this fight, but I don't know. I'm gonna take the younger guy in here. Next fight, man, good one right here. Punahele Soriano versus my boy Brendan Allen. I cannot wait for this fight, man. This is gonna be a really good one. Undefeated prospect in Punahele Soriano versus a legit contender in Brendan Allen. I mean, Brendan Allen was ranked, I think, a few fights ago. He did take his L to Sean Strickland, but he bounced right back and beat Carl Robertson via heel hook. Punahele's coming off a really impressive victory over Dusko Tavorovic. That was really impressive. This is gonna be legit. You know, Brendan Allen's a former Rufus Sport prospect. I mean, you know, he used to train there, and then he moved to Stanford MMA. I like the switch. I just didn't like what he was doing. I know Henry Hooft is not against guys doing what they're good at. He's a good MMA coach. I know he's not against guys wrestling, but I don't know why. Honestly, I blame Brendan Allen. I don't even blame the coaches. I don't know why Brendan Allen did what he did in the Sean Strickland fight. I don't know why he didn't shoot for a takedown. Soriano is a good wrestler too, but Soriano is a legit prospect at Extreme Couture. You can hear the way Dan Ige talks about him. He is somebody everyone's looking forward to. Good wrestling, but I mean, the kid can crack, and he knows how to box. He slips and rips. He rolls and counters. I love the way this kid strikes. Those guys at Extreme Couture have been cooking up some real contenders. And yeah, they have the heavyweight champion of the world in Francis Ngannou too, so can't be too mad at it. So it's a really tough fight to call, but I just feel like Brendan's experience, you know, Soriano, I mean, he's looked good. And he was a big underdog against Dusko, and he shut that shit down. Dusko was a big favorite in there. So I could see Soriano getting the W and maybe cracking Allen, but I feel like Allen has learned from the Sean Strickland fight, and I think he knows he might have the advantage in the grappling. I don't know if he has the advantage there. Like, Soriano can wrestle. He does have a wrestling background. That's where he started primarily. He's not a real... Like, he has power, but, I mean, he is a wrestler, so he could stop it. But you never know. I feel like he might be falling in love with his hands, and maybe he forgot about his wrestling. Maybe Brendan Allen can take advantage of that. I'm taking Allen by decision. Next fight, Mickey Gall versus Jordan Williams. Not much to talk about here, Mickey. I mean, he beat CM Punk, and he lost to a really bad Mike Perry. Like, I mean, an extremely out of his prime Mike Perry. Jordan Williams is tough. He showed a lot of toughness against Imavov. I think this is gonna be maybe a split decision. Who's the tougher bum out of the two? But I gotta take Jordan Williams. Nothing really. He has the reach advantage. I think Jordan has fought actually better competition. He lost to Dwight Grant a while back. So yeah, I'm taking Williams. Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick. I'm taking Macy Barber. I haven't been really too big on Maverick. I think I kind of got proven right against Jillian Robertson. Jillian almost won that fight, if it wasn't just for a few dumb mistakes in the third round. But it was 1-on-1, and anything could have happened in that third. Now Maverick showed some legit toughness, but I think Macy, the problem is just what I saw with Macy Barber against Roxanne Modafferi. But I'm not... I think Maverick is beatable. I don't think she... I think if Macy uses, the sprawl and brawl mentality, I think she can win. She finished Jillian Robertson. We'll see. Maverick can win this fight. I'm not gonna act like she can't. I haven't been too high on Macy. I did pick Alexa Grasso to beat her, so never been too high. I remember a lot of people were picking Macy as the dog. I think Macy was the dog of the week almost for a lot of people, and I was like, I don't think she's gonna win this. But against someone like this, in terms of the reach, let me look. It's the exact same. Gracie had a reach advantage. She was the better and slicker boxer, and she wasn't a bad grappler at that. So I think Macy, she really has been working on wrestling for a minute. So let's hope it pans out. And I think Maverick does have more fights. That is something that kind of points at me, but I think Macy will sprawl and brawl. Next fight. I'm just gonna cut these out real quick. Darren Elkins versus Darrick Minner. I gotta take my boy Elkins. Y'all already know. I gotta take my boy the damage. Darren Elkins. Darren Elkins might be a little older, but he got that grinder mentality, and I think he's gonna solve Darrick Minner. I'll give Minner his credit. He has been killing it lately, but I think he's gonna meet his match. Next fight, Kyler Phillips versus I think Julian Paiva. Respect to Paiva, he's a legit flyweight. Taking this fight on short notice, good on him. I can't doubt this kid Kyler Phillips anymore. I mean, I saw his last fight against Sandhagen, and I was legit impressed. This kid is really, really good. I don't know if he's gonna be a champion. I don't know any of that stuff, but I was impressed. So I'm taking Kyler Phillips. Nothing against Paiva. Paiva can win this fight, but I got Kyler Phillips. In the co-main event, Aspen Ladd versus Macy Chiasson. Interesting fight for Aspen Ladd to take. It's been a year and 7 months ago since she's fought. She beat Yana Kutzeskaya. I think since that fight, Yana has fought at least 3 times. She lost her last fight against Irene Aldana. Macy's coming off a victory over Renew, 44-year-old PE teacher. I'm not too impressed with that. But she does have the reach advantage. She is fighting out of Fortis MMA. That's a good gym. But I think Aspen Ladd, I think she should win this fight. She hasn't fought in a minute, so that's what kind of goes against her. But I think we haven't actually seen her really, really use her wrestling, but lately, But I think she will use it in this matchup, and I think she could win a ground and pound TKO. But I'm gonna take Aspen Ladd to get this done by decision. These females are always taking fights by decision. And next up, Cory Sandhagen versus Snake Boy TJ Dillashaw. I did do a breakdown on this, so go check that out if you want me to go a lot more in depth. But it is what it is. I am gonna be taking Cory Sandhagen via 4th round TKO. I might not trust this goddamn hipster to get it done, but we need somebody to take out the snake. So I am not doubting TJ. I honestly do think TJ is motivated. I don't think TJ is a beta male. I think he's as much as of a snake he is. I give him his credit. He works hard. He's a workhorse, and I know he wants to prove everybody wrong. I know he got a chip on his shoulder that has been growing for the last 2 years, but I don't like this mofo. I'm just being honest, and I honestly believe that I think Cory Sandhagen did win the sparring rounds. Obviously, sparring is sparring. It's not a real fight. But I just feel like Cory did win those. I think Cory is the longer fighter. I think Cory can win a decision here. But I'm praying to every god and every deity out there that he finishes this dude. I'm taking Cory Sandhagen via 4th round TKO. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do not forget to follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram. If you're new, subscribe. Go click the notification button. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye.